All right, guys, so today we are going to talk boomsticks and low end versus high end. So a lot of you may be looking to purchase a new boomstick this coming hunting season, and I'll oftentimes have people tell me, they say, well, what's the big difference between the upper end priced ones versus the lower end priced ones? Because other than the name, it looks like the quality is exactly the same. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, guys. So I've actually had a little bit of experience on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to this conversation, because I have kids that I've purchased boomsticks for over the last several years and didn't really want to spend a ton of money on them because they outgrow them so quickly. So here's just a couple of things that I could tell you that I've witnessed personally and what I think you could expect and kind of what the difference is between the two. So say you're on a budget of about $400. That's typically where you're going to see the lower end boomsticks come in, maybe even a little bit below that. And oftentimes you're going to see them at places like Walmart, Academy Sports and Outdoors, Sportsman's Warehouse, maybe even some local sporting goods, some local ones that you have in your area. So this is what I can tell you, that a lot of the low-end boomsticks out there are going to look very similar to your high-end brands and really look very similar to the actual boomsticks themselves that are trending at the time, because they are going to want to look and go with what is trending at the specific time that hunters are looking for in a specific boomstick. So yes, you will see that they look very similar. You're going to think that they are the same, but really where they fall short at, guys, is that the craftsmanship and the materials that they are built with. So what I mean by that is, if you have a lower end boomstick that you purchase, what you could expect typically is to get about 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 if you're lucky, if you're shooting that on a regular basis, that particular boomstick on a regular basis. So you might be hunting all through, waterfowl season with it, hunting quite a bit, putting it through the ringer. You might be doing a little bit of small game hunting with it, as well as some trap shooting or some clay pigeon shooting, and putting a lot of rounds through that particular boomstick. Well, what you're going to see is that over time, even if you maintenance them on a regular schedule, you're going to start to see that once they get up there with the amount of rounds that are put through them, they will tend to start failing on some of the parts that that particular boomstick is built with. So that is one of the things that I have seen personally, and had several friends of mine that have purchased lower end ones all kind of have that same deal happen to them over a couple of years. So like I said, they are built typically to last you maybe 3, 4, if you're lucky, 5 years. I haven't seen really maybe any personal ones that I've had go really longer than that without an issue, but maybe you're fortunate enough to go a little bit longer than that. But that is typically the span that I see those lower end boomsticks lasting if you're looking at them. Another thing that I oftentimes see with them is when it comes to factory choke tubes that come with those particular boomsticks. Then you're going to see some that don't even fit the gun sometimes that it comes with. It might not be the actual, choke, or say it's like an improved modified. It may be shooting more like a full choke, something like that. So when you go out and pattern those particular boomsticks, you'll sometimes find that the chokes don't match up to that particular boomstick and what it should be. So that are some of the main differences that I see when it comes to them. Now, I know everybody is on a budget. We all have a particular budget that we have to stay within, and that is perfectly fine. If you're in that budget range of a lower end boomstick, then I certainly do not want to stray you away from going out there and purchasing one, because you have to purchase what you have to purchase in order to be able to go out there and participate in the sport. And that is completely fine. All I'm saying is that this is typically what you could expect. And when you're looking at a low end versus a high end one, these are the differences that I particularly see out in the field that I've experienced. Now, when we're talking about higher end brands, you're going to get just the opposite in most cases. So when you're looking at brands such as Benelli, Browning, even Stoeger, Franke, some of those brands that you'll see a higher end price pointed boomstick will typically start somewhere in that $650 range and go up. So in this particular video, I'm just dividing low end versus the higher end. Really, I do feel that some of those brands fall right in the middle, but I kind of want to simplify it for people who may be out there looking to try to get an idea of what they want to spend their money on. So when you're talking about the high-end boomsticks, guys, those brands that you are so familiar with in the industry that I mentioned, what you could expect there is the opposite of what I talked about on the low-end stuff. You can expect years of use out of these particular boomsticks with proper maintenance, and the craftsmanship and in the materials that they use in these particular boomsticks is going to be much better. Therefore, you could put quite a bit more rounds through them. And they do seem to accept all rounds a lot better than some of the low-end stuff. So if you're shooting cheaper ammunition or you're shooting high-end ammunition, it really doesn't seem to affect the high-end stuff as much as it does on those lower-end models that we talked about and brands that we talked about. So if you're looking to purchase a boomstick to last you many, many years down the road, maybe you want to pass it on to the next generation in your family and maybe even beyond that, a higher end boomstick from some of the more reputable companies out there, that is what you're going to have the opportunity to do with those brands. Therefore, you pay a higher price tag when it comes to it. And once again, chokes also play into that. When you purchase a higher end boomstick, typically you're going to get better factory chokes that come with it. I know a lot of you guys like to shoot aftermarket chokes, and that is perfectly fine as well. But what I have found is that on the higher end boomsticks, the factory chokes that come with those particular boomsticks, they tend to be very accurate and very true to what they say they are when it comes to the particular choke that you put into that boomstick. So hopefully this helps kind of clarify, guys, what the differences are between the low end versus high-end boomsticks if you're looking to make a purchase this upcoming season. And if you have any feedback on this subject, guys, leave a comment down below in the comments. Share your experiences with us. If you've had good luck with low-end stuff lasting a long time, leave it below. We'd love to know your experience with it. Or if you didn't have so much luck, or maybe you had an experience with a high-end brand that you'd like to leave a comment on for people to read down below, drop it in the comments below. We would appreciate it. Until next time, guys, my name is Jacob. This is Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors TV. We'll talk to y'all again soon.